My sound is off. All right. Good morning, my leaders. So someone came to my WhatsApp and they were asking to say, can we have a session where we talk about the WhatsApp groups? Hmm. So she mentioned that, she created a group for her team, but it hasn't been performing very well. And I think this is something that we can relate. If you look at some of the WhatsApp groups that we are in, whether it's team groups, you'll find that sometimes you only have like 10-20% of the people are the ones that are, always talking, always replying. Some people are quiet, you never get a response, or like people only respond when it's nothing related to what the group is about. So sometimes that can be challenging, when you are trying to manage a WhatsApp group. So I just thought of first, why is it that we use WhatsApp groups? Forgive me, I know my slides are a lot of words, they are not nice and pretty, but I will do better next time. So I just looked at the reasons why people use WhatsApp groups. And for me, the first thing is instant communication. When you have a WhatsApp group, you can easily share information with your team or with the people in the group. So if there is an emergency, you can type in the group, or if it's like some important information that the team needs to know, maybe there's a presentation happening somewhere or a training, it allows you to quickly share those updates. It also helps our new members that maybe they've just started the business, they are not sure which products to recommend for what, or they have some questions on the marketing plan or something that they need you to clarify. Maybe they're having a chat with someone who's interested in learning about the product. They can easily type in the WhatsApp group, "Hi guys, I met someone who needs this. What can I recommend?" And it makes it so much easier for the team. It also makes it easy because almost everyone now has WhatsApp on their phone. So it's a more convenient way of speaking with everyone, no matter where they are. Then it's also good for media sharing because like when we're doing forever, we have products. So if you want to share videos about the product, if you want to share posters about the products, it makes it easy because you can share the images, you can share videos, you can share the documents like the company policy. Sometimes we share what is this, the slides for the business, all of that. And it's cheaper. Well, I feel like WhatsApp is more cost effective. It's not as expensive as other apps that you would use if you wanted to communicate. So things like Zoom, you have to pay for access. You need a lot of a stable internet connection and all of that. But if it's WhatsApp, it makes it easier because it's cheaper. The person you're chatting to gets that information at the same time, and it accommodates a lot of people. So you can also keep the history because the chats will be there for those that don't have disappearing messages or for those that don't delete. So when I looked at all of this, I understood why is it that we need to look at using WhatsApp groups for our teams. I know some people use Telegram because of course WhatsApp also has its own limitations in terms of number of people that can be in a specific group and all of that. So I wanted to then look at what is it that makes our groups to be less effective, or you end up with a group where it's not serving the purpose that it's supposed to. The first thing that I found is it's more effective to work with smaller groups. I've noticed that sometimes you can be, when you are under a team, there is a big group that you have. Probably it has 200 or 300 members, maybe more. And the problem with those big groups is, number one, there's too much information or too many messages that are coming in, and it makes it hard for people to follow the important messages. So for those that are doing the business part-time, let's say you went to work, 2 hours later you are checking your phone, and in the group for the team there is already 200 messages, and now you have to scroll to find, was there an important message? And sometimes you will find that the discussions that were happening in that group sometimes are not even related to the purpose of the group. Or if someone shares something nice and everyone is like, nice, thank you, nice, thank you, you come back and there are 100 nice thank yous, and in between maybe there was an important message and people end up missing it. That's what happens with bigger groups. Also, you can have an issue with people. They may be less involved, or they are hesitant to participate. So you find in a group of 300 people, someone might not feel comfortable to maybe share their views or to participate in the discussions. And people are different. There are some people who prefer, they have privacy concerns to say, if I share this in a group that has 300 people, it can be easily forwarded, and now everyone is going. So sometimes when the groups are too big, it poses a privacy concern, because sensitive information, you cannot share it in the group. You can also find that the groups can be distracting, because if you have a group and messages are coming in all the time, the notifications, they can be distracting. Of course, you can mute the group, but too much activity can distract. Then it also discourages for people to connect properly, because it's harder to have a proper discussion where everyone is connecting and there are 300 people in the group. So this is what I noted from our typical groups that we have. Of course, I was basing it on my team. Maybe in your team you do things differently. You will be able to share with us how you are managing your groups. But from all this, I then realized that yes, it's important to have one big group as a team, and we are chatting, there's the energy, there's the vibe, we are recognizing people, it's nice. But if you want to be more effective with your team, you then need to consider having smaller groups and having different types of WhatsApp groups for different types of people. So what I've seen is, in a team, there are people at different levels. There are some people who've been assistant supervisors for months. There are supervisors, there are assistant managers and managers. Then there are preferred customers. There are also people who are assistant supervisors, but they have just recently joined. All these people have different types of needs, and they also, what I've noticed is they behave differently. You see, someone who's just started the business, they have energy, they want to push, they want to learn, they still have that zeal for the business. Then you may find someone who's been an assistant supervisor for months, and they joined, they were not so serious, they are not really interested in pushing the business or doing anything really. So what happens when you mix those people in one group? You start to have issues because the energy of this one is going to dilute this one's energy. You know, if I'm new and I come to a group and the upline posts something and everyone just ignores like something, nothing happened. What happens is that seeps through to the new people as well. So it's very important to have separate groups for separate people. So the new people, yes, we are going to have one big group as a team. But what I've learned to do for myself and my downlines is I have separate groups for everyone. So I have a separate group for each of my downlines. They have groups for their prospects. Then we have groups for their teams, people who have just started the business. These are people who need more, they need more care and attention, and they need more information about the business. If you are sharing you know, if you share product slides and product pictures in your main team group, some people might be irritated by that because maybe these things are being shared over and over and they already have it. But you have new people that need this information. So have a separate group with them where you are sharing this information with them. You know, like we learned that orientation is a continuous process, and these guys, they need guidance. So we have a separate group for them. Then you have people that are assistant supervisors. They are working to move to supervisor. You know, have another group for them where, you know, you are sharing tips on how to move, you're following their activities. It becomes so much easier to manage your groups if you can section them out. I hope I'm making sense, or maybe I'm just blubbering, and I'm alone in the meeting. Just let me know in the chat if you are following, if you're finding value, so that I know that I'm not alone. Okay. And when you create these groups, these WhatsApp groups, I think the first thing that you need to do every time you have a group is you need to set clear objectives. You know, let people know what is the purpose of this group. So we have our 5 a.m. session group. We know that the purpose of this group is for us to share information related to the 5 a.m. sessions. Either we had a session and we are continuing a discussion on WhatsApp, or we are sharing the link for the next session. Everyone is clear about what this group is for. So you will never find a situation where we are talking about discussing success day or discussing, you know, different things, because this group is specifically for 5 a.m. When you make that clear at the start, everyone knows the purpose of the group. You avoid having meaningless discussions in that group, because, you know, there are some people that not everyone is open and free to having all types of chats and everything happening in their group. Some people, they want to join a group. They know that this group is for products training, and they come there when they want products training. If they are not interested in product training, they will join a different group. So make sure that once you create a group, there is a clear objective of this group. We've created it. We have supervisors in this group that are moving to manager. The objective of this group is to share information for those type of people, and we work together to move up. And if you have said that, make sure you stick to what you say the objective of the group is. Don't now start sharing information that is not related to that group, because now people stop taking the group serious, or they get all kinds of notifications and they are checking and it's useless information. Eventually they mute the group, and then you find yourself in a situation where you have a group, you have 30 people in the group and none of them respond. You are just talking to yourself. The second thing is create and share group rules to ensure respectful and relevant conversations. Then stay organized. Use features like group description, pinned messages to keep the important information accessible. So I tried to do that, but June and July has been hectic. There are no speakers, but normally we would pin the speakers of the month on the group description so that everyone knows who's speaking. If there's a topic, then there's a topic. And then, people can use like pinning messages at the top, the important stuff, so that if someone needs information, they can easily get it. Then you have to engage regularly. So you post regular updates. And when we say engage regularly, it doesn't mean that you just have to start meaningless conversations all the time. Engage regularly based on the objections that you have set. So you're posting updates. So if we created a group for supervisors that want to move to manager, the posts are something like tracking CCs, you're talking about volume mapping, you're talking about the sales that you've made in the month, people that you are recruiting, business presentations that are happening, because that is what is related to the group. You are starting discussions, how is it going? Is there something that you're finding difficult? You are encouraging people to participate, and this becomes easier in a group of 10 people compared to groups of 100, groups of 300. Then monitor conversations and address issues promptly to maintain a positive atmosphere. So maybe someone posted something that is, offensive or insensitive. You can go to their inbox. You know what, my leader, this post that you put, this is not how we talk to our fellow colleagues, and we apologize, we delete the post, people move on. Because another thing that I've noticed that makes WhatsApp groups not to be effective is I can post something. Probably it's a joke to me, but not everyone is going to take it like that. Remember, we have different people in Forever. We have Christians, we have Muslims, we have, different religions, different cultures. And what might be funny to me might not be funny to the next person. And if we allow people to engage insensitively in the WhatsApp groups, now people are not responding because, that other day this one posted this and I was offended and no one said anything. And, you develop these small grudges because WhatsApp can be convenient for you to run your business. It can also break your business because this instant messaging works both ways. It can be positive, it can be negative. So make sure if you are a leader of a group, you've created a group for people, monitor what are people talking about. If there are issues, address the issues. You don't have to do it in the WhatsApp group. You can talk to people in their inbox and, have them resolve their issues, but make sure you're posting, you are, monitoring the group. Because some leaders, they would create a group. You've said, I'm creating a group for my team, and then you hardly check what messages are being posted on the group. You don't even monitor the conversations. You don't know what is happening. That can also break your team. So make sure that if you are a leader and you have a group, you are monitoring the communication that is happening in the group. And if issues are coming up, make sure that you are addressing them in a positive manner. Then the sixth thing is be respective of time. And this is something that I've noticed that most people, they don't understand. Avoid sending messages or too many messages in the group, and be mindful of the time at which you are making group calls, the time that you are sending the messages, and keep your communication very short and relevant. So you'll find that in your team, you have people that are working, and you don't want to be sending 100 messages during working hours. now it becomes junk and it becomes too much. Or there are some people who, well, I understand that, when you're sending messages, some people send messages sentence by sentence. Probably you want people to get the notifications and then go open the messages, but that can be a lot. So if you are going to type communication for your team, type something that is clear. If it's a paragraph, explain what you want to explain, get to the point, send the message. Don't be that person who sends like 100 messages in a day, because sometimes it becomes too much. So we've started the Clean Nine. For example, one of the leaders says, I created a wellness group for my team where we are doing the Clean Nine with people that have bought the Clean Nine. Then in the morning, post the schedule. Today is day one. This is how we are going to have our meals. You list breakfast is what, you take your gardenia, you take your them at this time. These are some of the exercises that you can do throughout the day. Maybe you post pictures of meals or whatever the case might be, but avoid sending them like, now you've sent a short message, 10 minutes later, you're sending another one. 20 minutes later, there's another message coming in. It becomes too much for people, and people end up not even bothering to read what you have to say. So if you have a message to convey, type it out properly, state what you need to state, and then make sure it's, again, relevant to the group. So this is very important. Be being respectful of time and avoid spamming people in the group with too many messages. Keep your communication concise and relevant. Unless if it's something different. In a team group, there are so many things that are happening. We might recognize someone in the morning, there's another move up 2 hours later. That is a different scenario, rather than I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I might not have the words to articulate it properly, but I'm sure you understand. Number 7 is utilize group features. Okay. So make use of WhatsApp features like polls, because let's say you are asking a question and then you don't want, in a group of 100, everyone is replying to that message one by one, because now Heather comes back from work, she gets in the group and there's 150 messages and she doesn't even know where to start to read all of them. But if you use things like, let's do a poll of what color are we wearing for Success Day, for example, then people just tick. Maybe you list a few colors, people tick their colors. So everyone is responding, but it's just one message. It's not going to be like hundreds of messages coming into someone's inbox. So WhatsApp has those nice features. There's file sharing, there's group calls to enhance interaction. So this also works for smaller groups. That's why I was saying that you need to divide your groups into smaller groups, because it makes it easier. We can quickly have a WhatsApp call just to follow up. How was your day? If you're 10 in the group, everyone joins in, we have a chat, we move on. Recognize contributions. So if you have created a group, remember, you're not the only person that is going to be posting in the group. So you need to acknowledge and appreciate the input and contributions of your group members, so that they feel like we are in a community, we are safe to speak, and we are working together. So you can't be the only one who wants to be talking in the group and everyone else's opinion doesn't matter. Yes, we understand you are the leader, you've created the group, but if a team member posts something positive in the group, comment, like, don't just be that group leader or that team leader who is absent on everyone else's posts, but you want people to respond to you, because people notice such things. Unfortunately, sometimes there is that feeling of, if I'm the leader, then I know everything and blah. But it's not always like that. When you come into Forever, you are leading different types of people. Some people are knowledgeable, they are professionals in their own areas, and all of that. Some people have valuable information that they want to share with the team. And if you don't acknowledge their contributions, you then find yourself with a group of people that don't even bother to respond to your messages. They don't even bother to make any contributions, because you have not shown them that their input is valuable. So make an effort as a leader, as the admin. In WhatsApp groups, we have admins, not leaders. As the admin of the group, make an effort to read all the messages that people are putting in. Where you can respond, actually respond positively. So someone shared a good video motivating the team. Thank you so much, my leader, for sharing. This was so powerful. And make sure you watch it so that you have something to comment the video on. That person now knows, oh, okay, if I find valuable information, I can actually share it in the group, because people are really watching and they are benefiting from it. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be like you type a long comment complimenting the person, just like the picture or the video that they have shared. So recognize the contributions that your team is making in the WhatsApp group, because you get to a point where now people are like, no, I've posted recognitions, no one commented, no one what, but it stems from, that of people post and you don't acknowledge. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with people, the simple things become very big issues, where you can think that, you know what, I don't need to reply to this. I'm sure this person knows that I value their contribution. Sometimes they don't know, and they need you to show that you are actually valuing their contribution, so that in future they are able to engage with you. Then the last thing, I think this is the last thing, is provide value. Okay, so you can complain that people are not replying to my messages in the group, but are you sharing what they want to know? It's just the same with your prospects. Remember, we were talking about when you're posting on social media for your prospects and whatever, provide value, share information that they are interested in. Same thing with your team. It doesn't mean because now they have joined your team, now we don't care about what is it that they need as individuals. So share useful information that, is valuable to them. Share content that aligns with the group's interests and objectives. This is another advantage of now smaller groups, because if you're posting for 100 people, you can't please everyone. But when you have smaller groups, the guys who are just starting, I can share with them videos of using the products, short videos explaining the products. That will be interesting content for them, and it is valuable for them. But if you share it for people who've been running their businesses for 2 years, they might not see value in it. They've probably seen a lot of videos of people using aloe vera and all of that. So that is another advantage of the smaller groups, because now you can share specific content for the specific audience that you have, and you are adding value for them. Okay, I think that is all that I had mentioned. I hope I was able to answer the question that I was asked, because the question came as, please share with us how we can make our WhatsApp groups more effective. I'm going to allow participants to unmute, so that, if there is something that you want to add, you are welcome to speak. You are also welcome to type in the chat if there is something that you want to add. So let's have a bit of interaction. I see there are some chats I had not opened. Let's see. All right. Let me know what did you learn? What would you add in terms of managing your WhatsApp groups? What are some of the issues that you have noted in some of the groups that you have been in, and how can we benefit from that? All right, Leader Oabona says, would you please share the slides? Very informative. I was thinking I was not posting enough. All right, I will definitely share them. Maybe I'll convert it to PDF, then I'll share in the 5 a.m. session. I will do that.